Hey everyone, are you tired of this game yet? Well, I'm not somehow. But worry not, this will be the last video I do relating to this game. I spoke about this before. This is going to be a Bracelet only run on beginner difficulty. I'm also playing the European version this time just for kicks, since I've done the other two, which means the only real difference the European version has, apart from the 50-60 Hertz thing, is that some of the enemies positioned in the levels are missing, or sometimes placed differently. Also, the game itself runs rather slower, so this version is basically all around easier. Also, since I'm playing on beginner mode this time, the enemies, there are no like super fast sprinting zombies this time. Of course, no matter how easy it is, you just know that I'll still screw up anyway. I think the torches there look a bit different, like not as bright, or maybe I'm just misremembering. So I'm partly doing this because I want to make a comparison stuff between the three different versions of the game. There's no graphic effect when you pick up armor anymore. The skull that was normally here is not there. The first one of the two in here is also missing. This isn't a difficulty level thing, because if I was playing one of the other ones, they would still be there. As I explained before, the only difference difficulty level makes is speed of enemies, number of enemy spawns, and how much damage certain enemies can take before dying. You probably have noticed that I started the game with the bracelet. I'm using a cheat for that, because, well, I don't feel like playing the entire game over again just to get to the whole bracelet thing. It doesn't really change anything the way it is now. Also, if I were to lose the bracelet in any way, I wouldn't be able to get it back again. So basically I'm just going to leave that cheat on the whole time. So I've always got the bracelet, can never lose it. Of course, as before, the whole challenge thing is done now, the collector's thing, so I don't have to pick up everything anymore, and I can kill this idiot whenever I see him. So basically I don't have to screw around so much. I still always open these boxes though, I don't know why. It's not even like there's anything that I can use in them now. I guess in the end it isn't such a good comparison doing this on beginner. Because the slower speed of the European version kind of makes it look even slower than it actually is normally. I don't know. This is back before the days they actually bothered to optimize things. I mean, look how quickly that thing died. That's what I'm talking about. With whole lower health for bosses and stuff. And yeah, I'm just gonna go straight on between levels because this whole thing isn't worth making a full video series out of. I'm fully expecting I'm gonna have some stupid deaths in here anyway, because that seems to be my unintentional gimmick. I don't mean to do that, it just kind of happens. See how few ghosts there are this time? Like, I only get one of them spawning at once, whereas in the professional games I was doing before, you get like 3 of them. It's... well... personally, I don't think professional mode is all that fun, to be perfectly honest. It's more frustrating than anything. Like, everything wants you dead yesterday, and there's so much stuff going on, it's really hard. Look at how slowly those axes swing. And that's an odd sort of occurrence that only happens in very few places. There's sometimes you'll trigger a chest and there won't be anything inside it at all. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I think it's would normally have been a magician at that point, but for some reason nothing appears. I can only guess it's because maybe like there's too much stuff on screen or something. I don't know. So I can't actually think of any other places where that happens offhand. Now we've got the super slow auto scroll segment, which is even slower now on 50 Hz. It really sucked to be a console gamer in the 90s. Early 90s at least. Around the PlayStation generation, they finally managed to make it so that PAL region games would run at the same speed as NTSC ones. It would just be at a different frame rate. It's always been kind of a trade-off between those two things. PAL has higher resolution and higher resolution meaning more detailed images, or at least slightly better quality, and it also has better colors or color reproduction than NTSC does. But because of that larger screen space, at least that's most likely why, it only updates 50 times a second instead of 60. And back at this time in game development, most games were actually tied to the frame rate itself. So if the frame rate was lower, then the actual game itself would be slower as well. Also, it might be hard to notice, but the music sounds kind of different as well. I'm not entirely sure why, because I'm not good at discerning differences between sounds and all that. I think it's... well, I think the pitch is slightly different. Like, I think maybe the music is playing slightly more slowly as well, no, I think the pitch is actually the same, it's just the speed. And because of the speed, some things sound kind of weird at times. Playing this game on beginner to show off the bracelet thing, I guess probably isn't really all that good of a demonstration, but well, it's the best you're gonna get. I'm sure there's some nut out there who's done a bracelet only run on professional, but I'm not doing that again. No way. Now I can still get done over here because I can never dodge these things effectively. That hit was blocked by my shield somehow. You aren't supposed to fire nothing. Okay, I'm gonna save here, because if this all goes wrong, I'm not freaking doing the whole stage again. As it turned out, I didn't need to, but this is a demonstration. Not some crazy challenge stuff. I've done that already. Notice how I just kill that guy with one hit instead of like 3 it would normally take. Stop going down there. I tell it a crouch. I don't know why they would take out the little graphic effect when you pick up the armor though. That's kind of strange. But maybe not all that strange though, because HAL gamers were basically screwed over every which way. A lot of the time they would take stuff out just for the heck of it, or otherwise change it around. I mean, just look at that whole pro-Butector nonsense. Sure is a lot of fire in these caves. I don't even have to care about that guy closing in, because I can just slaughter him. It's worth noting though that I wouldn't really be able to do that even on beginner mode like this if I didn't have the bracelet. It really is the most powerful weapon in the game. It's just kind of, at least on a per hit basis. You can probably still do more with spamming laser daggers. You can even kill that jerk in one hit, which I'm thankful for, because seriously, I hate that guy. Everyone hates that guy. Except for the people who played Demon's Crest. Whatever it's called. But you're not actually playing as that guy. You're playing as some other member of the Red Aramus species. Yeah, I mentioned that kind of before, maybe even several times. It's just, it always bugs me how so few people seem to realise that the red Arimas, note plural, in this game are not the same as the specific red Arima named Firebrand in the Demon Crest and Gargoyle Crest games. Since we've been killing these guys, it can't possibly be him, otherwise he'd be dead. Besides, if I remember correctly, Firebrand is something of a rebel to begin with, so I don't think he'd be sort of fighting against Arthur in a time like this. Although I think that's probably all happening after. Still, I want to be careful with these guys dropping in. But Super Ghouls and Ghosts was the last time that Arthur would have to save his princess. Oh yeah. At least until they made Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins on the PSP, but that's probably a completely different team anyway. After this one, they sort of just concentrate on all the spin-offs instead. Like the Demons games. Come on, it's still doing that stupid... Then of course there was Maximo, the two games in that series, which was kind of like a spiritual successor. Yeah, I think that did the whole disintegrating armor thing pretty well. If I remember right, you have like 4 levels of armor. The lowest one being no armor. And the things above that are various things. Like I think the second level is like just sort of plain breastplate and something. Whereas the highest level is full plate, or something close to it. So when your armor breaks, it's only parts of it, which is kind of more believable. Whatever. Well, that sort of addressed something about this game. A lot of people complain that when you get upgraded armor in this, it doesn't give you any extra hits. But the point is, it's not actually supposed to. See how that lasted a shorter time? Thankfully, because I still hate this part. Also, because of European Easy Mode, there's fewer of those fume places to begin with. But the armor isn't supposed to... Armor upgrades aren't meant to protect you or anything. The basic normal armor that I have now, I believe, is steel, which is about as hard as you can get, because the other armor upgrades in this, they're not intended for hardness, it's something else, because the first upgrade is bronze armor, which isn't going to be superior to steel in terms of hardness, and the highest upgrade is gold armor, which is even worse. The point of those is not that they're meant to be harder, it's that they're meant to be more magical. That's where you get your weapon upgrades, but they still break just as easily. Well, Albie, he actually managed to attack. Doesn't make any difference though. It might have been interesting if they'd done like had two different upgrade paths or something for armor, like you'd have one for attack and one for defense. I'm just not sure how it would work to give you extra hits. I mean, how would it look, for one thing? Would you have him sort of bouncing back like he does here and sort of have his armor break off with another suit underneath? Because that would just look stupid. And really, I think it would look pretty dumb to have his upgrade armor just sort of change into a lower level as well. I mean, how would that even work? Because we're not actually like transforming the old armor into the upgraded one, it's like actually switching it completely. Because I really don't think you can wear more than one suit of armor at a time. And I mean, I suppose yes, if it's all supposed to be magic armor, then I suppose. But it would just look dumb having your like suit of gold armor suddenly change, get hit by something and magically transform into bronze somehow, and have the helmet design change. Because I mean, I don't know. I know video games back in these days aren't supposed to make sense or anything, but you have to consider the style. They might not make sense, but they still have to have a sort of stylish thing to them. It's funny how the plume on that armor is orange when it's lying on the ground, but red when you actually wear it. In Ghouls and Ghosts, he had a cape with the gold armor. I'm not sure what happened to that. Anyway, in Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, you actually do get more than one hit. At least in some game modes. I think there's one that plays on the sort of original rules, and there's a more modern version. That Screw You Wolf isn't there in the European version, which is nice, I guess. Friggin' avalanches. I don't know why, but they always seem to trigger at the wrong places. They're supposed to be like preset points they appear at, and they never seem to actually do that. They just sort of turn up at some random place instead. Yeah, it's kind of silly having these ladders here that don't have any other purpose than to just to hold on to for avalanches. I mean, why would someone make something like that? Because I mean, the monsters probably don't care about avalanches. Because yes, you can climb off the bottom of those ladders and you'll fall down and die. There's probably at least one person out there who's managed to do that by accident. And that was probably lucky, because that would probably have hit me if I hadn't killed him just then. But yeah, it's really strange how easy this is. Oh, drat. Being able to kill those guys in one hit removes a lot of the danger from that, for one thing. Yeah, that guy coming out of the wall there, I don't think he works properly in, well, some of the versions. I definitely remember at some point I noticed there was this one of those guys who would appear when you weren't anywhere near him. So he would just get sort of scrolled off screen and you wouldn't even ever get to see that he was there. I'm not sure how I discovered that. I think it was when I was messing around with jump cheats and went through the level backwards or something. They also removed the second red armor here. But being able to kill those guys in one hit, well, basically it makes them pretty easy, because you can just stand still and wait for them to swoop and just attack them. Although again, I think it's just because it's the bracelet. With other weapons, I would probably have to hit him more than once. I don't remember. And this is a bracelet only run, so we aren't going to get to see that anyway. Now this guy is still the same as ever, which means there's plenty of scope for me to make a huge mess when I try to beat him in the next stage. I've got no idea why I jumped there. But because he dies so fast in this mode, it's a lot easier to get through anyway. I don't know, my whole cheat run thing was kind of okay, but this is... I've got to say, this is pretty relaxing. Being able to play this and basically just run through everything without being in danger. This is, well no, I normally play the game on normal mode. Maybe I should try playing on expert mode for fun. Expert is the equivalent of hard in this. No red armor there, which would have saved me an awful lot of hardship if I had played this instead of the Japanese version for my challenge. But of course I couldn't do that for the same reason I had to play it on professional. It needed to be demonstrative of the difficulty you actually have to go through in order to do this stuff. Also with gold armor I don't even have to care about these fireballs. I just blow through them. That's the most unique. Well, no, it's one of the unique qualities of Bracelet. The other one being the whole limited range gets more stronger at close range thing. And I can actually do this part without being drowned in 3 ghosts coming from all sides. They're still annoying, there's just less of them, and therefore less annoyance. Yeah. I'm just getting this because I feel like it. Too bad I can't go back. after killing the boss here. I don't know why, it just seems really silly with the whole jump cheat and everything to just kill the boss and just go back to the start of the level for the heck of it. Since you're not supposed to be able to do that, and I like being able to do things I'm not supposed to in games. That laser was a bit slower than your normal stuff there, guy. These flames are still just as annoying as ever. But I think he might not fire them as often. He seems to spend more time stomping around. Dead boss. Once again. Yes, and as I showed in my cheat video, having the bracelet on this, you still have to go back for the bracelet even though you already have it. So yeah, you really aren't supposed to be able to do that. At the end of a full game, like with both playthroughs, you'll probably end up with about 250,000 points if you don't die. Anyway, the game is now on normal mode. The zombies are walking a bit faster. And yeah, we didn't do that this time yet. Unfortunately, there's not really any way to jump over these zombies like that. They're just too big. Unless you get turned into the seal, which can double jump. That's why it's the safest form to get turned into. They should have made a whole, like, mini-game about being transformed into things and having to survive. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing this a second time. So, this is basically the end of my whole Super Ghouls and Ghosts LP stuff. I think I've shown off pretty much everything there is to show. There's not really anything left to do in the game, which is too bad really. You just know I could have kept recording these things forever. Making stupid mistakes. That's my gimmick that I do without meaning to. Making stupid ass mistakes for no reason. But who hasn't been there at some point in their lives? As for what I'm going to do next, I've got no idea. Well, maybe I have some kind of an idea, but I'll have to try that out first. Yeah, can't kill those projectiles with an underpowered bracelet. Ah, the wave of doom. It's the bane of so many players. So, how fitting is it to end it with that caught so many players, killed them many times for their first time through. And that's that. See you later, people.